Interrogative pronouns, an interesting subject. In simple terms, there are just 5 main interrogative pronouns. Who, whom, whose, which, and what. Add the words whoever, whomever, whichever, and whatever, and now you've created compound interrogative pronouns, right? When we take 2 words and put them together, now we have a compound word. They're often used to show emphasis or surprise. Now, the main interrogative pronouns can do the same thing in spoken English. Interrogative pronoun examples. Can you find them? Let's take a look. Who won the basketball game last night? This is common spoken English, right? So, who is your pronoun, right? Who won the basketball game last night? I don't know. Let's find out. Whom did he think would finish the project? Whom is used primarily for formal or written English, not as common in American English as it is in British English. Those are the tourists whose bus arrived early as a pronoun, right? Hey, which is the best from the 2? Which is often used when we have choices. So I have, I like using my books. Let's try that again. I have 2 books. Which one would you like? This one or this one, right? If it was across the room, I might say that one, something like that. What is his phone number? Well, that's pretty simple. What? Hey, who do you think will win the football game? What is the name, right? Who? Whom shall Shakespeare write about next? Well, that's kind of, again, older English, or use it for stories, prose, written language. Whose painting won the best of show? What is a name, right? So, what is somebody's name? Which of the cars is yours? Which one? The red one or the blue one? Which one is yours? Bring me what you have completed. So, what? What is not always very clear. Hey, what's your name? Because I've never met you before. What kind of pizza do you like? Because I don't know you. Hey, what is your favorite color? Because I don't know you. You and I just met, right? Compound, here are some compound interrogative pronoun examples. Whoever did that is despicable. I'm sharing an opinion. Maybe it's graffiti on a wall, something like that. So whoever, I don't know who it is. Whomever you recommend, we will employ. And again, this is about older English, whomever, and it's a choice. It's already offered, and so in this case, hey, you know what? I have Bob and I have John. These 2 people can do the job. Which one would you like? Well, whomever. It doesn't matter. Choose this one or choose that one. Whichever you choose, the others won't be happy. Now, this is more with a limited choice, so it could be 2 people, 2 people as well. Hey, whatever you decide, I will agree. This is where you might have many choices. I have, okay, so who should I marry? I love 5 different women, and therefore I want to marry one woman. Which one do I? Well, we know it's not true, right? But my question would be, who do you, my wife's laughing over here, who do you want to live with forever? Well, it's Larisa, of course it is. So that's the one I choose. Whatever you decide, I will agree, right? From all of the no, I'm just kidding. There's only one for me. Larisa's laughing. Okay, this is a much bigger subject than there's room for in this grammar review. Hey, work with your teacher to help you better understand this subject. Reciprocal pronouns are words that express a mutual action or relationship. We're going to talk about that. Reciprocal pronouns are each other and one another. That's it. Reciprocal, you just have two to learn here. Reciprocal pronouns are each other and one another. If the pronoun refers to two things, use each other. One thing, two things, that's it. Use each other. If the pronoun refers to more than two, use one another. So I'm going to explain some of this. While this might seem a little confusing at first, with practice, you'll get the hang of it. So take a look at the following examples and don't be afraid to ask your teacher for more help. Here are some each other pronoun examples. Here are just two people. Bob and Terry love each other. Two people. So each other, each, yes, each other, two, only two. They both feel the same. Now, they gave each other presents for the holiday. Again, two people only, each other. Do you two respect each other? Again, two people, right? Two people, that's it. Each other is for two people. Both teams challenged each other. That is when we have just two teams only, no more. The boys were fighting with each other, just two boys. I can't use that if there were more than two. We might do that, but when I use the term each other, each, remember each is one, right? Each other in this context for reciprocal pronouns is specifically used for two. The two cars were competing with each other. There were just two cars. The dogs were fighting with each other. Only two dogs, each other. Get it? Bob and Renee lived with each other. Two people, only two people. They kissed each other many times. Just two people, maybe husband and wife, they're in love and they kissed each other many times. My wife's laughing at me again. One another examples. Let's take a look. Now, the entire family loves one another. I use this explanation, the entire family. How many people are there? Well, I really don't know. Maybe I know, but definitely more than two. So it might be 3, 4, 5, maybe 20 people in the family. Everyone feels the same. One another is your reciprocal pronoun. The entire team played their best for one another. So they all played well. The entire team, how many people are on the team? I don't know, and that might be why I used one another. I admire the way you help one another at work. There are more than two. Hey, how many people are at your work? How many people work at your company? I don't know. There may be 100. I don't know. They were all blaming one another for the loss. So in this context, it's a team, and there are many people on the team. I don't know how many, and that's why I used one another. All 4 boys were arguing with one another. So in this context, there's 4 people, right? Definitely more than 2. If there were only 2, I would say the boys argued with each other. That would be just 2, but in this case, there's 4. They worked with one another as a team. There's more than 2. All of the workers celebrated with one another. There were many people that celebrated. Hey, ask your teacher to explain plurals as well. An intensive pronoun, also known as an intensive reflexive pronoun, is a word that intensifies, makes stronger, a noun or noun phrase. Intensifying pronouns usually go after the noun or pronoun. This is done to make the previous noun stronger. That's it. They are myself, yourself, himself, herself, itself, ourselves, yourselves, themselves. selves. Like all words in English, words are just words until we give them a job. Intensive pronouns are not essential to the meaning of a sentence. In other words, we really don't need intensive pronouns. Might be kind of like when we use metaphors, let's say, or interjections. Do we really need those in a statement? Probably not. Intensive pronouns are kind of like that. They're simply used to emphasize, but intonation is important. If you're going to use it in the language the way most people do. Notice that we do not need an intensive pronoun to create a sentence. Often, adverbs can be used to replace the pronoun. Here are some examples. Can you find them? I myself like some dessert after a meal. Now, I want to talk just a little bit about this grammar because using intensive pronouns can be kind of cute. I can tell you that they are not used as much in American English as they are in British English. Certainly they're used in creative writing, things like that, but in everyday spoken American English, we really don't use intensive pronouns the same as you might find in British English. Did you yourself make this chocolate cake? To American speakers, that sounds a little funny. It's part of the English language, and it's why I'm doing this lesson for you today. He himself made that dessert. Can you imagine? I could say he made that dessert himself. But that is a very simple statement. That's a reflexive pronoun, not intensive. So in this case, I might say, he himself made that dessert. You hear how I made it stronger, right? He couldn't imagine how she did that herself. You see how I made it stronger. It climbed up on the table itself. I couldn't believe it, you see. We ourselves are responsible for the success of the company. You yourselves can accomplish this project. Once again, you see how it sounds a little funny to American English speakers. It is used more commonly in British, but some people do use this kind of grammar in American English as well. They themselves are responsible for the successful project. I myself created this English grammar lesson. Are you yourself going to repair the car? I might follow that up with another statement, something like, I didn't know you could repair cars. I didn't know that. He himself is going to rebuild that house. I didn't know that he was a builder. I didn't know that he could repair things. She herself was able to create a successful company. In this context, I'm surprised. I didn't know that person had those kinds of skills. Our cat itself was able to find her food. So she found her food somewhere, and I couldn't believe it. We ourselves will find a way to repair the roof. In other words, I'm not going to call anybody. My wife and I are going to get up on the roof and make it so that it doesn't leak anymore. Hey, you yourselves must find the answer to that question. They themselves won the game before the final buzzer. I couldn't believe it. Remember that nobody knows the entire English language. If someone says, I know English, okay, you know some English. You know the difference between verbs and nouns in the different parts of English. That's probably true. But do you know the entire language? No, you don't, because it changes, and it changes every day. Some people say that there's a new word created every 89 minutes. The main idea with all languages is to effectively communicate.